I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
Was I late on pledge of allegiance?
I'm getting all in on the halls. My bad.
Okay, really.
All right, it's Tuesday, June 10th, regular sessions. All three commissioners and Miranda are here. Nobody in the public. And same thing again, is you're gonna be on Zoom, you have to be on camera. Anyway, we'll go ahead into board minutes.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify, the minutes from June 3rd on where I stated that if their hand was raised and there was no video, that we would ignore them. What I want to clarify is that if there is troubles with occasional people coming on and they can't, their video's not working, that's understandable. But when we have a habitual person who keeps denying and refusing to go on video, then that's what I meant, that we will ignore that particular habitual person is what I meant to get that.
Sounds good.
However that we could word it, okay, and on that, then I will make a motion to accept the board minutes from June 3rd, 2025.
I'll second it.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. All right, we'll go into correspondence. The first one's from that, from the town of Phillipsburg on the containment. It's telling us about the distant byproduct in our water system. And they're saying that it's goes to just giving us info on the important information about your drinking water. It's saying you don't have to boil it. It said, please reference important information, just an update.
And it's every one of the town residents received one of these letters also informing. They're just letting us know.
And the next one's the one with the United States Bankruptcy Court, Southern District of New York. On that Purdue Pharma LP. That's up. Plain field. And then it's Granite Justice Court, 1 Phillipsburg, end of period disbursement detail. And the next one's an application certificate for payment for TC. And it's in the claims. We have that. I was asked to get that. And then I have a letter from Kyle Cummings. I think it's his wife. Is that Christy Cummings?
Yeah.
Okay, it's about the Tower Road on Silver Chief Lane. I am writing to request another grading of Tower Road. It had been done recently and was in great shape until last week when Blackfoot Communications came through and put their line on the outer edge of the road and poorly cleaned it up after. They left the road only one lane and treacherous. We're hoping they would come back and fix it once we're all, and sublines were put in, but they have not. And if magnesium chloride was put down, we would be forever grateful. This is like, I think 5 calls in the last 2 days.
Or Blackfoot?
Yes, they just don't in, and you know, and they say, call them and tell them, and then they'll get a hold of them. It just isn't gonna stop. And then we didn't get the DNRC grant, we were 7 out of 13.
That made me sad.
We really did,
Now what?
yeah, now where do we go?
So this is the one that, it's a state one, right? And we put in for a federal one.
Yeah, we did the Sheehy, the CBS.
Yeah, this,
Yeah.
and we haven't heard anything
Not
right
yet.
now. And when were we supposed to find out about that? Just
I
whenever.
don't know, they were gonna put in the other one, the bridge one, when, I did hear on that. That they were gonna submit it, but we needed a letter from the DOT, which we got. But I don't know on the dam one.
And the next one from Cameron Razor, he sent us they did some lake shore from Eckerson Lane to Sunnyside Day Use Site, which is approximately 0.44 miles. And the total cost on it was $45,000, that's including wages, equipment, and supplies. That's great, I wonder how much ground we'll take down.
Yeah, we need to know how many yards.
So
Gravel.
we can match it, cause that's what we kinda said we do, so. Anyway. And tell me one that I'd have a comment or putting it on the agenda or get a hold of, I don't think we have to have him on the agenda, just send him a little note on how much gravel did they actually put down.
He'll be in today.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be in today, I think.
So what
Separate
would,
issue, but-
what would 21,000 be? For supplies, is that the gravel and culverts?
Yeah.
So what would that be about, how much gravel?
We don't know, just how it's cost,
Culverts are the spendy ones.
all the thing.
How many culverts we put in this thing?
Don't know, that's the thing that. We'll have to ask on when he's in. And that's it for correspondence, any public comment? If none, we'll go ahead into public comment. I guess on the public comment, Mark Jones was upset with Blackfoot, Jeremy Mickey was upset with Blackfoot, I guess these are just the people keep, or the people are calling, I'm looking for. Needs to be out. So, I don't know what. We just had a meeting with them and all we get is told, well, if there's a problem, call them. This isn't gonna stop.
Well, eventually they should get done, I would think.
Well, I think they're done, good stuff, but it's just that they're not cleaning up.
Yeah,
And then they're doing what they have to do. This, I mean, it's gonna be tough, but these people put a lot of time and stuff into their yards and along the roads.
yeah. They should have had a cleanup crew going right behind them.
Well, they should be buying a little gravel, and actually they're using our gravel off our road to fill it.
Yeah.
Filling in the ditch. I don't know what. I guess we'll talk to Blaine, and see what. I know.
Hmm?
They're coming to my house today.
They are. You're gonna get,
I'm gonna get it, right?
fiber.
It show us the 23rd today.
It is, I don't know if we should be discussing it.
Okay, it's public comment.
No, I mean on the claims.
Oh, if there's something that we first.
Looking at Beaverhead County Public Health, we paid them
Yeah.
out of county health, and I'm wondering if any of this is immunizations.
I think it is, I think that's what it
Well,
is.
then they can take it out of immunization instead of county health.
How that one.
Did it say MMR or something on there?
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I'm just saying we have the immunization instead of pulling it out of the county health fund or public health fund.
Well, it says it's a Winrich MMR Gardas. Is that
The what?
says Twinrix MMR and Gardas, isn't that supplies or two gift shops?
The MMR is what, mumps?
Well, I'm just, if it was immunization stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
What's the number on it? Have we got to it yet? I don't know.
Probably have Beaverhead County Public Health, or you're in the Z's. I don't know, just, do you want me to go ask?
Jackie and Deb are at a meeting in Missoula. I don't know, get a hold of them, is that what you were gonna ask for?
Well, just say this county health budget, if you can take it out of immunization. Me. If any public comment, I'll be great.
Is there any public comment?
There's one on here, it's got the Great West. That maybe Blanche wants to look at out. This guy's sticky note, which, if those are the correct accounts you want it from. Still propane tanks?
What's that?
Hogan still propane tanks?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
the guy just quit, well, and what's her name, Katie, they said you have to wait for somebody else to come do it, she don't like doing them.
Right.
So,
Oh, that one younger kid quit?
yeah, he went to work for the key guy.
Oh. Or,
Morning.
We're in public comments, I got a phone number, we get to call this guy before we start. He's the one down there. Well, Louisville. There's.
That's AJ, I just talked to him.
Well, he said he did, he just called and said he won't answer.
I just hung up on
It's good. Where's that?
him. Yeah, he called me when I was up there at Travelers. Before we put my calendar, no, I just talked to him.
there's one in their branch. They left a sticky note on, we'll see, it's going to Great West
Okay.
to see if, go to counts.
Is there any public comment? All right, we'll stop the minutes early, we'll go ahead in the weekly report with Road and Bridge, all here today. Go ahead, Paul.
We're just getting Travelers finished right now. Getting that cattle guard put in, and, when we're done with that, then we'll get that road bladed up and be done. And from there, it'll be going up back out to Eastport, and the other guys will be going to Brewster Prairie. What we're doing is everybody's working together. And, our temp guy quit.
Who?
The temporary guy,
Yeah, kid,
he quit already. So
what's up?
I got a couple of guys that might possibly, well, if we get one every 30 days, I guess, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it's getting to that point where it could be short term and you don't have to through any of
If
the.
we can just get somebody to fill in, so you finish up doing what we're doing.
But in that, they still have to get that letter short term saying that there's no
Right.
benefits and.
So if you can make another copy of that, whatever, I need to, when I find a guy, I'll just have him fill it all out. And, so we're shoveling coal patch and stuff, 14, 15, 16, it doesn't matter.
You can, 14 can do, yeah, I mean. I don't think that's the most strenuous job in the world, is it? I mean, yeah.
No,
Yeah, with
not
14.
running.
It's 14, isn't there still restrictions on how many hours?
Yeah,
Sure.
um,
Hazardous job.
yeah, none of them can be hazardous, even, but, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
just, that's
that's,
just
yeah.
on a shovel.
yeah. That's only work.
Right.
Let me look at the hours on, but you're talking about 15-year-old, right? Or you,
Well,
or you would possibly.
We've got a few options, there football players and
Yeah,
they can stage a August or whatever, till football practice starts. I think we're gonna have to try to get somebody from the younger generation to help. If it's possible, and if not, I mean,
No, I agree. Gotta do something. And then we're lost another week or so, he quit. Thought he was coming back, but he didn't.
your other guy quit.
yeah.
Need to get that put in the right place. I'm not done.
I don't know. I get it.
And as far as that guy that just called, I just hung up from him.
They didn't know, I
Oh,
don't told him.
anyway, he was wondering when we were gonna mag a road down there in Hall. And I said, well, it's already done. He said, well, it's not done, I just left there 2 hours ago, I said, but it's done now.
So,
So if he called, well, hell, he won't call again, but I thought he called on the commissioner phone.
No, he called me and he called saying that he wouldn't call him back. And I said, well, I said, he'll be here in about 10 minutes, so just call it.
so 14, 15-year-old can work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, but cannot work before 7 AM or after 7 PM.
14, yeah, 14,
Yeah,
14 is a little young, I'm sorry.
I think 16 is
Not
very
really.
pretty much.
yeah,
Go.
16, let's see, I don't know if 16, I mean, you're not doing anything hazardous. but
I know
yeah,
the 14-year-olds work hard, but as far as, a government entity, I don't know if
Do what?
14-year-olds.
We're in the fields working then.
So what time? So you set a schedule just for the 14-year-olds, so they wouldn't have to be there at 7?
He can start at 7, well, the guy's gotta get it all heated up. Wait,
Maybe go 7 to 3. You know, and that,
Working
I
that.
mean, we don't even have anybody yet, I just wanna make sure where we're at in case somebody, we get it figured out, but. Obviously. The 20-year-old would be better, but you just can't find anybody. But. So that's the only stipulations, and they work 40 hours a week though,
Yeah, yeah,
but not over 8 a day.
not over 8 a day, yeah.
Just wanna make sure we do it right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Going to turn into the Department of
I
Labor.
mean, who's saying we won't find anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about it, but at least now we all know we're on the same page. We need to get them report slips from each rig, that's,
I'll bring it Tuesday.
yeah, we gotta have.
You guys need to be reminded to where their hype is too.
Yeah, we'll have to set up some kind of a. You bring in what? Tuesday through or Wednesday through
I'm trying to do it
Monday.
maybe like 2 weeks prior. So I could, every week will be a week behind.
Well, we should like today, we should get last
Right.
week's pre-trip.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, we just gotta get them, we're gonna put them in books. So Blanche has already set up a whole bunch of stuff. So we
I have?
wanna keep going, well, yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if.
Trying to
we're
get
gonna
organized.
do- We're gonna do it, we gotta do it right. Oh. I was telling these guys, I keep getting a lot of calls, and people just freaking out over Blackfoot, they're not cleaning up, and I don't know where we're gonna go with this morning, last night we heard some more, and then we got there the letter that I wanted to read, that they were happy with the way you played it, now they went up Toyota, now they want to reblade house.
Oh, you got it out of it already?
Yeah, and then Cameron, I want to look at Cameron, thinking Lake Shore.
I mean, on the weed spraying or whatever, I think just sending them, they talked about sending them a bill or whatever, or what other, is there stuff in the county right away that they're.
Yeah, they took the gravel off and put it in a road, or in a, where they dug up, and they took all the gravel the county put there and shoved it in there, so now we gotta re-gravel that road.
Yeah, I'd take pictures of it and, yeah, send them a bill.
So I just wanna make a comment on those slips. When did we implement? So we need all of them.
Yes, that's what I said, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we gotta get them all in here now, we gotta go through them and then put them where they belong.
last 6-8 weeks worth.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Mr. Paul?
We just need to have them. Cause we're gonna stay up on the safety stuff, and our mod's doing really good, so.
Where was the gravel issue on how? or-
Jeremy Mickey drove one in here behind Boulder Creek.
Oh, yeah.
And some contractor come in, he admitted to it, I guess he talked to Jeremy, I can't speak for Jeremy, but. I don't know what to do, I mean, the phone just keeps.
Well, I think Blackfoot has to get their duckies in a row and start talking to each other. Cause that one person that was here last week didn't know anything about. Who was
Oh,
the
yeah.
other guy? The one that was here last week?
JB.
Yeah,
Well, he was included in all those emails.
Yeah.
You know, when they first came in trying to get the encroachment permits, they were, you know, we'll do anything you guys want to get done, and then that did a 180 quick.
I agree, I just don't know what we're gonna do, or now, you gotta go regrade tower, cause the toilet, you have, we just got there.
I'd take pictures and, yeah, they'll be on the hook for any damages,
Yeah, so they gotta pay for the hourly wage or wage and
Yeah.
equipment and wear and tear.
That's what we get, I mean, we've never gotten the other check yet, have we?
I'll go ask, it was supposed
Yeah.
to.
Go down
They
last
prob-
Friday, weren't we?
yeah.
I'll go ask.
He, JB Ray said it's coming, so it's in the mail.
Since Christmas.
Well, the commission said on the weed spray and stuff, they don't pay it, and they won't finish the litigation from.
Well, that's what I told Jason yesterday, I said, well, I wasn't there at that meeting, I was out gone for, anyway. He said, I heard it went pretty good, and I said, well, I heard it was a complete shit show. And,
It got a,
He said,
it got a
"Well, I
little, yeah,
Wound up.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
said, well, I wasn't, invited to that, I said, well, I don't know about that. But,
Check, she don't think so.
Hmm?
She's checking on that check. That
Oh.
1450.
So the invitation was just to Blackfoot, right? It wasn't necessarily to one particular person?
No. And that guy knew, usually they both come together.
I
but
think
he said
Jason
he-
was on
It
the
was
email.
Jason and JB
Jason, yeah,
me and
Jason was on those emails,
So he was on.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he felt that he was, did
he just opted not to come,
Yeah, he's on.
you know what I mean?
he, well,
He's the
because
lack
they're
of communication.
definitely,
Cause they're saying you're saying stuff.
one was
and
saying
he's
one thing and one was saying another.
Cause they said,
I
yeah,
can
stuff
print
about Paul, but no, that wasn't.
Yeah, I told Jason yesterday, I said, you told me that there was a weed spray plan in place. And yesterday he told me, well, I guess there isn't.
We
Well-
need that, can you just shut them down for a while until we
Well-
can get this figured out?
I think, I mean, he said, send him the information from, Ben Hotman on the
Yeah,
amount and the weed spray and the cost, and if they don't, then the county should consider litigation.
and
We
then,
haven't got paid, she just said, we haven't still got paid.
okay, and then I was talking with Ben on Friday and he said he talked with the state. And the state was having problems with Blackfoot and spring weeds.
Yeah, the state told them it's part of the deal.
Well, how do we get their attention, do we tell them to stop doing stuff on county stuff till we can get this figured out? Cause I mean, they just keep going and going. We don't stand
I don't
up.
think we can stop them, because if we do, just say we do and they, well, hell, that our time's expired here, and then 400 people don't get fiber because we stopped them, I don't think that's right.
I didn't look at, yeah, at least with the spraying or whatever, you get them the information, and if they don't, then, yeah, I think you guys should consider litigation.
No, yes, it goes on and on, if we don't do something now, like you just said, though, if then they're gone, then we're stuck. I mean,
No,
if
the
we don't do
Blackfoot's always on,
something now-
Blackfoot will be on the hook for their subcontractors, so. They have assets.
It's just more and more people are starting to speak up now.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff too is going in on their private roads, you know, and they've got to deal with that themselves. That's not the county's fault.
No, I know that, but they still, they're
Oh, I know.
coming back on us, we're hearing about it, we're the one who gave them the approach and stuff.
We ought to just never stop somebody complaining about it, that's for sure. Just on and on and on.
You gotta do something. I mean, this phone this morning, we give them so.
Well, like this, now I'm gonna look at this over when I leave, and then when after I look at it, I'll call Jason and tell him we have another problem. And,
I'd email them too, so there's, this is what you said during the conversation, please correct me if I'm wrong, so.
We gotta have a ducks in a row now. Do something.
yeah,
So what, in writing, an email? or-
Yeah.
Or phone calls good, but following up saying this is what we discussed.
No, that's about all I have, I guess.
So what we're doing is we're spraying no matter what right now, and then figuring out just how much,
We have to spray.
yeah, that we can charge them for spraying.
They're responsible for all the damages they caused, and that's weeds or moving gravel or damaging a road.
If they sat in there, said they put it back, you know, the way it was, now they're not.
well, I mean, you gotta look at it like this. We've been, let's just say 6 months, and I think it's longer than that, it's been 8 or 10 months, trying to get $1,000. What's gonna happen when we try to get 15,000? You know, seriously,
Well, yeah, maybe it'd be litigation, but I'm on the file, so.
Yeah, at this point.
well, just 100%. It's not the county's responsibility to chase the subcontractor.
Yeah.
That's Blackwood's
Yeah.
responsibility.
And he said he'd take care of that, make sure, he said the last time we were here, it don't take this long to get here. Yeah. We
Right.
still.
Yeah, I promised in the
And
end
cause then we
of
said, well,
May.
it's only 1,400, 15, I remember he made the comment. So what?
Maybe maybe that bill that we have coming, we can't seem to get paid for, needs to have a letter go to somebody else other than these people. Good like the Blackfoot themselves, somebody higher up.
Go to the president. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we're not getting anywhere the way this is.
Right.
yeah, and
Mail for
I'll
months.
enforce the president if you want, yeah.
I don't think that'd be a bad idea.
No, cause
Maybe
they're
they
gonna,
get a fire lit under them.
and then.
I mean, these guys are making millions of dollars. They can't pay a $1,300 bill.
No, they,
The same one with that, the dispute with Chuck Outs and the,
Right.
you know, that deal, that was Jason Robertson.
Was it?
Yeah, and they sent the bill to the county, because the county crew was, I guess, having somebody helping them there a little bit.
fixing it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're doing something with the credit card.
but their line, they didn't even have a permit for.
Right.
Other than that, that's about all I got.
All right. I'm gonna get a copy of that.
Yeah, get back to me.
You want me to take?
We're talking family today, see how much gravel they get on the hole.
What's that?
We'll talk to Cameron about that too, today. He'll be here. To figure out how much gravel they put down with culverts and what's, you know, just so it's, just so it's bites.
Might maybe region for sure.
Okay. Not just that Forest Service one. That's all I have.
All right, well,
Oh. We'll look at that and get right back with it so we can vote on that one,
yeah,
please.
good.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too, thanks.
See you later. How you doing?
Got a couple of minutes before the next one.
Right.
Did you read Todd Blythe's update?
Yeah, Could you give me back my little list?
You what?
The list. I showed you.
Oh. That one? Huh?
That one's your list. But this will look. Get in here somewhere. What did I do with it? Remember I handed it to you?
I gave it back, because we was looking at thing, and then you walked into the top of it about what you should take it out of.
Here it is. So when are we supposed to get our elevator?
No, we can't close it, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're just trying to get that elevator, we got put up with it. It's all right, well, we're just a couple minutes early, we'll go ahead into damn tenders, and what's your name, would you come state your name?
No problem. Peter Brown, Fish Pond, Park.
All right, well, the dams right now is sitting at. We'll put it back.
You can come up here and sit.
It's 6429.20, 3.6 inches below full. Last week it was 3.72. I guess see what the recommendation is, and then we'll go to public comment, make a motion. Did you read Todd Blake's report?
I didn't get it. I just read what Brad and I talked about over the.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we probably go to 30 per week. CFS is kind of where I'm thinking for where we're at.
Is it gonna be dry this week?
Well, they're saying showers and,
I think I'll shower tonight, tomorrow.
uh. Today's 81, tomorrow 72, 72, 68, 74, so you're gonna stay and then dropping back down to 60s.
I think it's kind of looking at like where we, this week in my thoughts of like watching the graph of it, like we're dumping 35 CFS. That must be what the inflow is, because we gained 100 over a week.
I guess what's your comment,
Yeah, Brad's recommendation was to drop it to 30, we'll cross our fingers for rain. I just got off a call with the regional fish managers and our drought folks, and we're about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of normal, and everybody's crossing their fingers if we're gonna get some rain this week, but that was his recommendation, was to get down to 30 and hope for some rain.
You know what, this morning at like 6, it was 6429.21. I was just looking
Yeah.
again because I looked at it this morning,
Peak the
So
wind,
then- yeah,
That gust of wind.
so now it's 2:0, so it's down. 30, you think?
That's my thoughts. Just kind of watching it all week.
How about you?
I'm stuck on 35, I'm just worried that it's
Oh,
after,
that
now
one-
especially reading the article or the stuff from Todd Blight. I mean, it'd be fine if it feels, like you said, we can dump it down the tube or, you know, or it goes over. It's just, I'm just worrying about downstream on that up there's gonna hold water, evaporation will start taking it, but it's downstream, we start cutting it back, the banks and stuff, then we ain't gonna have the moisture. Have you looked at Point Creek right down at, I went out yesterday at New Chicago,
No, I haven't been down there.
you know, and everybody's pulling water. You need to, I'm not telling you what to do, but I wish you'd go look at it.
I didn't see that Todd place.
Not,
Yeah, I'm gonna be running around the mountains.
then if we cut it, then even if it's gonna, you know, 5
Okay,
CS
so-
down there, it's gonna, it's gonna You got better.
I can't hear you. What were you saying?
I just asked him if he'd go look, I apologize, I told him to go look, I said, yes, if you could, go look at it down in New Chicago, we cut it back. The guys are pulling that much water, we're really gonna damage that where we're in.
If, on this, this update from Todd, like, and his last sentence is, he used 75% for the remainder of the summer. Outflows are currently at 35 CFS, but are being assessed weekly. It is likely more will need to be released depending on precipitation this month. So I feel that we could do 35 one more week. And if we're gonna get weather this week, I think if we go any lower right at this point, it's gonna come up higher fastly with the weather. That's my opinion.
You guys have to approve that? Not 35, right? If we stay.
Because right now we're 3 inches. So the fishies are.
3.6.
They're doing fine.
That's always a balance, and yeah, you don't want to get a bunch of moisture and then you're too full, but. Yeah,
Cause
he's saying it's
yeah.
gonna fill.
at the tail end, you still see snow in the pintlers, so at the tail end, you're gonna, as it gets warmer, you're gonna see, they're saying it's full, I mean, it's, am I right?
And I think what's happening, the ground's finally actually absorbed enough, it's pushing it a little further downstream, cause it took, we never had no moisture in the ground. Now it's finally, that's just me saying it, I think it finally, then that's why it's staying the same it is. We actually got water to the ground. I know, I know you guys,
So when you look at downstream, are you saying that the moisture's in and it's starting to come up a little bit?
well, the banks, you can see the banks are absorbed coming up from that, and there's always a spot I stop right there, just by Chuck Johnson's place, and look, there's a rock there, and it's gone down a little bit there, but a lot of people are pulling water too, it's that time of year and down lower, boy, you get down there, I'm afraid if we cut it back, you're gonna dry that whole bottom end out. That's something else we gotta look at now is, besides just up here, we gotta figure it the whole way down, cause you'll lose a lot of it down there.
I'll go check that out.
It's not good, it's kind of crappy, but. I had a friend of mine, he went down to Blackfoot this weekend, he said, man, it's. Yeah, the fish was decent, but it's really good. So, I don't know, it could be, I don't know.
Yeah, again, everybody's saying it's 2 to 3 weeks ahead of average, and so I mean, my mindset feels like late June, feels like 4th of July right now. So.
Yesterday I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
Well,
yeah.
I guess was yours a motion? Or were you just was your motion at 30?
I was just stating kind of my thoughts, I didn't motion anything.
Did you wanna make the motion?
I'll make a motion. Beings were on a weekly basis to do 35 this week.
I'll second it, if that's what you wish to do, there's no big deal, I mean, we got it. I'll second it. Any public comment on that?
Again, we recommend, but it's your guys' call right now, so, we'd like to get the full pool, and our forecasts are like, we're feeling like it's 4th of July, but it's your guys' call right now.
Well, the other thing too, we gotta make money too, and that's the whole thing, cause we don't get none given to us, and we'd like to have some. But
So when you say it feels like 4th of July heat right now, are you saying that's gonna make the water go down?
But yeah, there's not much snow up high, there's not much water runoff coming. Even if flows are matching inflows this week, it's by the end of this week, I'll bet its inflows are gonna be 30 or lower.
My bet, no, just kidding.
Well, I guess on all the comments that will stay at 35 and all in favor. Yeah, I know, it's there's so much to look at besides this.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tough deal.
It's a complex decision.
Yeah.
I get it, I get it.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, take care. Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. I'm more than just a face up there sometimes.
Yeah.
Take care.
See ya, thanks.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Thanks.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and move into the claims. Yeah, hey, you got my number, Peter? You got my number? Let me get down now.
So this one did look good, it's
You want?
what she.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh,
yeah,
was okay,
I do appreciate
so I guess just,
Yeah, more than, some direction more than the solution part of it. Perfect. So yeah, if I could meet up with you.
Four zero six, 240.
Okay.
35. Thanks.
Yeah.
We'll catch up after the beaver later.
Okay.
You just run down there, you just turn
so and
them.
then on that immunization, my question, I guess you can't take immunization stuff out of immunization. You can only supplement the county health instead of, you can't do the actual shots and stuff out of
You
immunization.
just pull out immunization,
Yeah.
and put it in.
So that's why it was public health.
Nice.
So I learned something new today too. Going, why can't I take that immunizations,
Well, which one?
the actual shots and stuff,
Oh, okay.
but I guess you can't.
Yeah, with their,
Cause I questioned it, cause they took it out of public health.
yeah, with the task order. I'll be back at 10.
Thanks, Lou. Well, if well, I guess let's make sure I'm in hours and that. Oh, or, yeah. Alright, well, good, sure. I, hey, right now. Yeah, good job of mine, sorry. Yeah. Bro. I just down and make sure on them hours there's somebody young or something that were. On hours if we hired some tip, whatever, just to make sure that. Just some of that don't seem right.
So he has someone in mind.
I don't know.
I know, I just know the kids, they have only, I mean, I think the only one that kind of gets away with more hours is agricultural, but. I know there's a bunch of rules and how many hours they can work and what they can and can't do until they're 18.
That's why we, yeah, I wanna make sure we do it right. So
Yeah.
I don't get some young kid hurt or something.
Oh, Blanche, maybe, but like, this one seemed. There's one in there
Which one?
towards the back for 11,000 for. With it, or,
Is that the senior citizen thing or it's over here?
I think it might. Oh,
But
yeah, it
this
might have
came
been,
out of,
might have been over here for inmates, but like, I don't know.
Cause they've been so full that. I mean, they've even got people over in Dearborn cause they're full.
Oh, okay.
Was it an inmate one, Blanche?
Hmm?
Was it an inmate one? Which one was it?
it was Republic Services.
Oh, yeah,
Republic.
That's what it was, yeah, is
Yeah.
that just, and it was just a monthly, is that much every month?
Well, it's
Sure,
sure,
April.
see, now we're getting more, cause they got, like down there, there's two different ranches, so they're cleaning up and we're starting to get more and more in there. So, we're gonna have to try to figure out how to maybe even have another container or something.
Yeah, if they had one for that, and I think the next one was like 6,800 that was for public also.
Usually it's 8 and 6.
Yeah, oh, is it?
Yeah, 8.
Oh. I'll look it up. I'll look up the fund. And see what it averages, what. Okay, sure.
Well, I guess I just didn't really.
Yeah,
Afford to
it's a lot.
pay that much a month.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's, yeah, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
On this, one that they were asking about, we haven't, this is one of them inspections that we did, so we could actually put it into for that rank and stuff, like gold coin, that was one of. And then, bridge repair is, I thought we were gonna see what they paid. Once they get done, see what it costs, then we'll have to figure out what's gonna happen.
Right.
Right. Guess we wanna make sure and tell Ben too that we wanna keep tabs on all the spraying.
No.
Spraying and grass seed, and if we make sure, send him a little, no, he said he would.
I have a feeling they're gonna try to stick us with all this.
And that's why when, I'm saying we, we gotta put our foot down somewhere.
Right.
We just keep going week by week, yeah, you can, well, we can't, but gotta do something.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it, cause I was just looking at some spray deals here anyway,
Right. Their chemical there.
yeah.
These glasses. What's the point
Well,
of getting,
you pull
yeah,
the
what's the
thing
point of
before-
getting progressive if you have to go like this and see?
Those one of the ones that like adjust to like. What?
Progressive.
Progressive
It
for
goes
like,
down in the middle and then.
right, for like
this is
distances, right?
Close, and then in the middle is to be computer thing, and then this is distance.
Oh, okay. I just squint a lot.
Hmm?
I just squint a lot.
Well, you're probably not old enough yet to lose your closeness.
Oh, it's getting there. I need to wear glasses when I do computer stuff.
I'm not sure if I'm doing the. Okay, let's see. I should have just did detailed expenditures instead of,
Oh, for a public deal?
yeah, or forget. So we're just gonna. Get down, get down.
Just when you see over $10,000, you're like, whoa, it's a month deal, it's a lot of money. Can't catch your eye
Yeah,
when it's
Yeah.
10 grand or.
yeah. That's like you look at the phone bill and you look at the power bill and you're.
Somebody's calling, somebody's calling you.
Oh, I can't hear that.
Okay.
Granite County Commissioner's Office.
Big Lance, it's Paul.
Hi, Paul.
So I'm just coming out of Tower Road and there's nothing the matter with it. It's fine. They did a good job. For filling everything in, they cleaned the ditch out. Yeah, and the road is, there's just nothing the matter with it. There's nothing we would come up here and do.
Okay, so let's see,
Or the,
you're looking at it today.
said, sheet black.
When did she do that email?
Off the tower, was it her personal driveway, not your driveway?
It's down like, there's just a tower road. I guess, would you call that Cummings?
Where's that thing from Christie?
Right.
So what day did she send this?
Yesterday. Yeah.
So Friday? Are you still there, Paul?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
So it says on Silver Chief Lane.
That's where you turn and go up to their road. That's not our road.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
okay,
Yeah, and there's a little bump here, where they had to dig out a big rock, but it's all filled in. And I mean, this road is by no means a paved road anyway, but there's just nothing to do here.
okay.
I guess, we ought to call and tell them that we had him go up and look at it, but do you wanna call them? Let them know?
Do you want,
I can.
Yeah, yeah, cause you're the one that, then they had any questions, just call them.
I don't know, they don't have a number here. Do you have a number for them?
I was just gonna say I don't have a number for them, so
So should
how about, what if, could you email them back and just tell them to call me if they have any
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, so we'll just tag them around to email them saying you went up and checked it and the road is fine and that the one that she's talking about is not on the road.
We just have a call.
Yeah, and, we'll be putting mag on it soon, but
Okay,
it's just not bad right now at all. There's no big thing here.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. I'll talk to you later.
bye.
Bye.
I didn't hear
You
that.
got Tracy's number,
Yeah.
I just got her Paul's number.
Yeah.
She calls.
Now I'll hear it. It's right in front of me. So we have, the pickup service for Republic in like July of 24 was 12,984. And then you look at, August and it was 12. September,
The
it was
last
8,
payment we
so
made,
it just fluctuates.
Summer goes up to their
Yeah.
funds.
yeah, the last
But they're
payment we made to them was 8302, and then this one was 11, but they'll show you what they got to dump, each one, there's two. The weight 40 cubic yards and then 32 cubic yards, and it shows all the pickup service, and you'll see where they're starting to come more, just cause we're full.
Then our,
That's why we gotta really pay attention in there on the solid waste that everybody, this is where we start getting overages and stuff from people and that, when if you're a contractor, how much they gotta start paying. And our burn pile's full already on what we need to get up on top and smash it.
Drummond or?
Yeah, it's already full. There's people they brought in big cop ones like that, they don't burn.
No, why would they bring those in, just make a
We
pile
all
of silver?
frickin' took them before and they did it. Some of that stuff, and then some of it's gotta be sorted, cause it can't be painted, it's huge down there already. Anyway, well, we're still working on claims, but we'll go ahead, we're right on time. Granite County Study Commission applications regarding 2 vacant seats. Do we have the applications?
We just have the one from.
And Blaine back. And we got an application from Luke, I can't say your last name. Ulatowski. Ulatowski, okay, thanks. And he's in the public today. So I guess, on this, what's the deal there?
You know, I have no issues with you appointing Luke. The issue I have is if he's the only one, having 2 on the study commission is not, it's not practical to run. It's gonna be continual deadlock. If you, and I guess we can get Luke's thoughts on that, but I think you need a 3rd person on there, and that's the way it's set up to be.
Luke, you wanna come up and give your opinion?
Sure. My name is Luke Ulatowski. Just regarding, what you brought up, I wouldn't necessarily support meeting until we have a 3rd person. But I would still ask to be appointed at this time. Do you want me to give any further reasoning or just 2 letters, guys?
No, I think, so what would we do? Would we then advertise some more?
Yeah,
Try it?
yeah, and,
You can go
Maybe.
back through the application.
This is something, they have to apply, right? We don't appoint, that's
well, you appoint after people apply. I
after
mean,
they apply.
Yeah, I mean, appointing someone that doesn't apply is,
Yeah. Yeah, we can't do it.
effective,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think, so, yeah, I think the procedure could be appointing Luke and then, and then,
Ulatowski?
Yes. How much time do you give it though? I mean, if it goes all summer, applying, I mean, how far do we run with this?
you know, I think I mean, they do have some time, so if it was at the end of summer, but, yeah. Yeah, I think advertising and seeing your thoughts on that.
Does, if we appoint him, then they still shouldn't have a meeting till there's 3 of them, is that what we're saying?
I mean, that's the issue, even that'd be a quorum, that it would
Who
be
is the
effective,
quorum, though?
yeah, to the quorum.
Well, that's the thing, and then if we appoint them and we're still trying, and they have a meeting and they're deadlocked,
Yeah.
I think, what do you?
Well, I think Luke's saying he's not gonna agree to a meeting, is that,
Yes, that's.
he wouldn't agree to a meeting.
Right. Okay, I make a motion that we appoint Luke Ulatowski to the Granite County, Study Commission. To take vacancy position.
We just leave this open until we have more applicants, like, still, so that. We maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
There's 3 for.
you could, but I mean, I think him stating that on the record is
Yeah, I
sufficient.
think he
Yeah.
could be, I feel he could be appointed,
Alright, I'll second it.
okay?
Do we have a public comment on this? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye,
Alright,
welcome.
So work on a letter and send you and one, thanks.
So all that information that, the former study commission members, does he need to get some of that, or Luke, do you need do we give him one of those person's stuff so he can look over?
Yeah, that'd be good to. They turned back their materials.
That's me.
Uh,
I just have some minutes from past meetings.
Which-
we
With the
could,
recorded
we could get them if we don't have them, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe
Like
they might have
study material? Is-
The training material.
the training material. do we want maybe him to get some more training, or how do you feel about that?
I would at least like the materials, yes. I think that's something I could, if we don't have it at the office, I mean, I could just ask for it from Dale.
Because, let me look here. I know they had to have turned it into somebody, they didn't turn it into you.
Are you going in there?
Huh? Okay,
Well, I guess it's hectic if this is being, I don't know.
Ooh, sorry.
I'm mine too.
Yeah, so I just have minutes and.
Cause the majority voted aye, and I never voted, I guess, I don't know. Seems like it's. There's nothing against him or anything, I just. It just seems like we're jumping the gun and.
Did you vote no for the, okay, did you get that? You voted no.
That's okay.
No, we gotta do something, but I think until we have everybody in line to do it, I'd go for it, but I mean, it kinda set him up too. Or he can't, he's not gonna have a meeting, and, I mean, it just don't seem right, that if we're gonna do this, we need to have three, so we can actually have it, we need to go on with what they're doing, otherwise he's just a sitting duck, that's why I'm going, no, it's nothing against you.
Well, you can,
Against
he
it.
could be getting, yeah, reading the training materials and stuff.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah, this is
I have
how-
to do some studying.
Eric and Hans.
So make sure that they, no.
It's not, so if they're not willing to turn over their training stuff, does
We
he
can
have to
get,
go get trained and stuff?
we could get it from the, we can get it from Montana State University Extension.
Who won't
You
give,
you read that.
who won't give everything? I don't know.
Yes.
So you kind of
The
got,
other two,
That's one word.
But
That's
you
gonna be
need-
end up being pretty long, but I'm voting no. I just.
so, they're both there.
Got it now.
Yeah.
I just don't see this,
got it in there.
Got it.
I just don't see this going.
Ipsy dosy.
I don't know if you heard me, but I voted no,
You voted no?
yeah.
Okay,
And the fact is that I don't think it's right yet, there's nothing against Luke or anything, but I think that before a person can even, it'd be nice to have three so they can actually have meetings and do it. And that's, I just don't,
okay, but on the condition that he is also in agreeable that we shouldn't have any meetings until there's three, which he stipulated that too.
yeah, I know, that's what
Okay.
I'm just saying, though,
Okay.
I voted no.
Okay.
You heard me.
Okay,
You know, Dan Clark's office.
I just wanted to make sure you heard me.
yeah.
Yeah, I was hesitant there, and I just, there's
Should put like
something,
a time frame on this, or is,
Yeah.
well, if it's a year out, we still don't have. it
You're out, they're not gonna be able to get things done.
For 6
I mean,
months or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I think in the next 3 or 4 months, you need to have, someone, or three.
Need to have 3 by August 1st.
could I, are we moving on?
You're the chair.
I need to make a motion to accept the claims.
Oh,
I got
motion to accept the claims for the month of May.
I'll second it.
Public comment, being none on favor.
Aye.
Okay, so what's the plan on this? How long you wanna leave it in the paper?
Well, I don't know, do you wanna, I'd say 3 months would probably be the longest you'd wanna wait, but I don't know, do you wanna advertise it for 3 months, maybe, or,
Lots of money.
yeah, maybe,
2 weeks and do the 30th.
Yeah,
By
I
June
go,
30th.
I go 2 weeks
Yeah.
and somebody's gonna do it, they're gonna jump on it. We keep waiting and waiting, either we move ahead or we don't.
Right, I agree with that.
All right, on that note, we'll put it in there for 2 weeks and put it back on the agenda on the 30th, you said, man, am I right?
Yeah, well, July 1st, yep.
Okay.
It'll be on the agenda.
All righty, well, we'll go into the next one, thanks, Luke, too, appreciate it.
Thank you.
The county courthouse ground yard work and possible retaining wall replacement. Wanna come on up and give your comments? State your name for the record, please.
Hey, Don Smith, just doing some groundwork out in front of the courthouse here. Are some issues that caught my eye. Took a couple of you on in to get to see out there, take a look at some of the ideas that they'll better with the project.
The retaining wall, that's that one going all the way down there and it's starting to fall in. My thoughts was, I know it's cold and that, but maybe a guy could get a quote or see if we get a couple bids to see what it would cost to redo that from here down around the corner and it's all falling in.
Right now, my opinion is if you can maybe repair it, what you can repair until maybe, because we still have a roof to fix. And depending on what it's gonna cost, and it's withstood all the current weather conditions and things knocking into it up till now, I think it's not a priority. That's how I feel.
No, I agree with you, it's not priority, but it'd be kinda nice to have a quote to see what it might cost to them or when budgets come up, I know the roof is scared. But yeah, at least we could look into it, we should have an idea on how much it might cost, that's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying.
I'd encourage you to do like something, at least repairs, cause it's kind of like, I mean, if someone sits on that or whatever and falls or, you know, it's a liability.
And we have contractors here already too that. I mean, we already got construction going on, so it's not like, you know, if we did do it, it's not like a.
Well, at least we could get a
Different
price,
time of year.
but I totally agree, it's not priority, but
But to get a bid on it,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I
I
agree.
think we should get a bid.
Yeah, I agree.
A bid to replace, to take it out and
Yeah.
replace it.
yeah, I think we could take it out ourselves, the county guys would come up here and pick it with that little excavator they got. It would save us a bunch of money,
Yeah.
put it back to our own dump trucks, haul it to our own site, and then that would save us a lot of demolition.
Yeah.
What do you think, going
No, I know, if you could save, I'm conservative too.
Yeah, I was going.
What'd I say?
So can you salvage some of it if,
I wouldn't even,
I don't think
that's
so.
this,
no,
what would, we'd have it sitting around like.
it's rock? No,
I
Put
bet,
it in your yard.
I bet it'll,
You want it?
no, I don't want it.
it'll fall apart, I think, to get it.
It's gotta die.
Oh, yeah, once you start, yeah, okay, yeah,
That wall was put in the forties, before that, it was a wrought iron picket fence.
what
Yeah,
was that?
the iron fence was the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
go back
think you
and
should
pick
do, go to
it.
original.
Right, do we have a picture of the iron fence?
Yeah. It's, is it out here? Yeah, should look at it.
Just do the fence,
It's with our other pictures?
Yeah.
cost of steel.
That'd be neat, put in a wall, put a fence up, you'd have to slope it down to come flush with the fence.
Might be something there, that's something we need to kind of look, maybe put it on you a little bit, and just have a look and see what stuff might cost, that's fine, we don't have to bid it, just kind of start getting some quotes and just.
So if, was that an idea that to go to an iron fence instead of,
We just have those pictures of that's what it was original. not
if you
the-
wanted to get it original? I mean, it'd be still, if you were gonna look into it, you could, might as well get a price on that.
Only thing with a fence is I'd like to see a retaining wall.
You would,
Well, that's
what I'm wondering,
that retaining wall there for water runoff.
What does that mean?
Well,
Yeah.
and people do like, you see people sitting on that and,
Yeah.
yeah, there is a purpose to it too.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
I'm sure they had meetings out there, I mean, the
Yeah.
union did one time, they were all out there. sitting
Yeah,
on
they've
it.
had the National Day of Prayer, people sit, other different people speaking out there.
I think I'd rather have a retaining wall,
Yeah,
think there's more active trying to move it around.
I'm just thinking like if we have a flood, I mean. That wall is really gonna kick it to the road.
Mhm. I think just stay with the retaining wall, okay?
I'm just giving you grief.
I
That's their
totally
job.
understand. You're trying to get me stirred up.
Yeah. It ain't hard.
Tells you how.
Well, the issues with some of the trees, 10 years ago, one of the other pine trees on the southwest side was put in and now is strangling one of the lilac trees. Don't know if what y'all would prefer, the tree, the pine is beautiful. Tall and doing what it's supposed to do, but the lilac is on its way out because of it.
There is a bunch of lilacs out there.
I like lilac.
Yeah.
They're a pain, they're a weed.
Yeah. The lilacs, I wonder if the lilacs were the original ones there, they were,
No, the one that's getting strangled.
oh, it's not original. Oh.
The
What do you-
originals were the ones that are
I like
inside by the
lilac.
side.
I like
Yeah,
the flowers, especially in the yard. I don't know, I guess something to think about.
The flowers, put flowers down the, like Jan used to do.
Mhm.
The hardware store actually asked if we were gonna do that again, but, she said that the deer kept eating them.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, dear, oh,
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
Forgot about that,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want the pine or the lilac? Or is lilac already dead, it can die
Yeah.
anyway?
It's on its way out.
Alright, so it's, yeah.
Save what we can save the lilacs.
Every dime, I would be really.
And when pruning the lilac, do you want? I know you don't want the shrub look, but how trim do you want? I have a couple of samples out front.
They get better.
Yeah.
Or whenever you get- That's more whenever you get a chance. You know.
Yeah.
They're getting too big for you, do you think, or?
No, they're-
Alright.
The yard looks really nice.
Yeah,
Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I wanna keep it looking nice.
yeah,
It's nice to have a little different colors in there than just the pine.
Actually, just doped it all up yesterday with my own special recipe.
Maybe we'll look at it when we get done today, then kind of think about it.
I definitely keep the lilacs bigger instead of a shrub. Look
yeah, I agree,
more like a tree.
More like a tree.
yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Don't tell anyone.
Is there anything else?
That's what I have.
Okay. And just concentrate, just see about getting some pricing on the retaining wall. If I have to measure it and keep it about the same height, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, thanks.
Just kind of for back over, because I know you, some of that cement stuff, they can make it look a little older too, like roughing it up or whatever. But I think definitely we'll look into it after budget.
On the south side, they have their row of the stone. Ones that have the backlit with the stones on top of it. Is that something?
I don't know. Just about figures for cement, we call it good.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Alrighty. We'll go ahead and move on to treasurer's report.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Miss Treasurer.
Ashley's here with us. Introduce you.
So I was gonna give financial reports, but I have stuff in my spreadsheet, so I'm trying to rebuild them. I deleted all my formulas. So, you'll get those probably next week and I'll do a full report. This is you can pass those around and then I'll take those back, but that is a delinquent tax letter that I worked with Black Mountain to create. That shows instead of the current year's delinquent, it'll show all years delinquent, all years penalty, all year interest. And these are gonna go out next week. This is just, the mobiles that we're mailing. And then there'll be, real estate as well, since those ones for 24 are now delinquent with second halves as well. So we're mailing everybody's out. They're gonna go in a envelope marked urgent. And then we're going to highlight a section of this here that says. Total amount of taxes due to this office, we'll go ahead and we'll highlight that portion. And then. actually supposed to have. Oh yeah, and then on the bottom it has, right where it says, please return the statement. Above that, it has the June 30th due date. That is what penalties and interest are dated to currently.
And then you're gonna do a letter on the ones that, potentially, no longer able to collect on, or? Is that,
This is going out to all
yeah,
delinquents.
but there's gonna be a separate letter on those that you want removed, or,
I thought we weren't removing anything.
That way on what?
Removing anything?
well, yeah, that's up to you on what you wanna recommend, and then then the commission would, make their decision, if you're wanting to recommend some.
I mean, we can review that after these letters have been sent, but it was my understanding that the commission did not want.
Okay, but weren't we researching to make sure we were not going to take any off the tax notices unless they were abandoned or gone?
Exactly, and then that's what we're waiting for this stuff before.
So like this,
All this is new stuff, we wait till we send this stuff out, and then we can go ahead and forward, right? And that's kind of what we said.
There's I believe an August 1st deadline on that, correct? On the removal, like notice, so. There does need to be some research if there's like not, the trailer's gone or whatever, and the people are gone.
Well, I think-
We're
That's what
researching that right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
but
okay.
This is still, this is something that I do in every
Yeah, yeah,
June, but this is just different than what the normal letter looks like. The normal June, I'm just talking about the
Yeah, okay,
the letters.
Okay.
you know.
I changed the subject,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
okay, but
Easy on
I'm
it.
confused. So this is just an example of what that is, or is this something that?
These are each individual, so those are just ones I pulled
Part of
from
that.
here, yeah. Yep, that's just an example of how it would look for somebody that is receiving the delinquent tax letter, that they can see that these are all of the years that you're delinquent on. And I can add any verbiage that you think needs to be added, like.
I just put this in big red.
Okay, I
I put this in big red,
Put some coloring in there, yeah, like,
otherwise, leave it as.
So in this instance, though, with this problem right here, this is, if they don't at least make an acknowledgement to try to pay,
then
we can put it on their property taxes. Is that correct,
Yes,
Blaine?
You're talking about on a, mobile home?
if some of them aren't gonna be if they don't have. property,
Yeah, some they're not gonna own the property, but yeah,
oh, that's.
Oh, okay.
a good
I see.
point, another-
Yeah.
But that's why we're gonna start looking and
Yeah.
see what's there and what, you know, cause some of these, like you said. are-
Like with these right here,
and you were talking about this first paragraph being read.
The delinquent tax notice portion, the very top there.
Get where it starts out so that catches their attention.
there's how many years here?
I can't make these in public, but I can put, I have a stamp that's an urgent stamp that I'm doing on the envelopes, but I can do it on the notice as well.
I'm not trying to make more work for you, I'm just afraid to just see this and blame.
Cause
Blame people.
this is blatant negligence, not paying.
Well, I'm not, I mean, no, this little color gets your attention.
What can we do, Blaine? I mean, this is something where we need to do something with this, especially with, I mean, just looking, not mentioning names.
yeah, I mean, I researched the real property tax lien to see if I need to do that, then the personal property as well, and yeah, what the lien process is and collection.
Yeah, that's,
Uh,
I would like to have that discussion. I mean, that's been filed with Sarah's office.
Yep.
And then, once these notices go out, these go out every June. We'll see what we can collect and thereafter, by June 30th, you know, I'll have a good idea of what is left to collect. We can decide whether or not we're past the deadline for us to take tax deed. That has to be started already. But we can pursue things more. Obviously sending out these notices. The other thing too, to note is that taxpayers need to pay their most current tax first and then pay the oldest delinquent thereafter. So we're gonna try to get the collect, which I don't fully understand that law, because if a municipal utility attaches to their taxes back in 2013, they're still not getting their money because we're collecting the 24 first.
Like,
And then we'll go back and do the 2015, which is kind of backwards, but.
Can you do like a first notice on this letter type deal and like,
These
Exactly,
aren't
kind of.
first notices. So these are, what would you call them? June delinquent notices. So we send these out 2 times a year. And this one did, for a lot of these people, this is not.
right,
Because it has all tax years. This is
Right.
a little bit different. In the past, we've done it where it was just the current year. This is us trying to collect
back.
all back taxes.
like the one I'm looking at here. Or do you have to go with the estate, cause the trailer is completely gone? And the person's passed, so how would you ever get something like this?
Like on that one, we probably have to eat, right?
So that one, the trailer is gone and the person is deceased.
Yeah.
So that is,
And we had, I bet, we need to go, can we go to a closed session here just for?
Alright, one thing, if if the state has, something, assets to go after them potentially, but.
Yeah, we need to just for a couple minutes, cause I just, All right, we're back on. Well, when it's sold and gone to somebody else, then how do we?
there's a
We
piece
just
to
don't-
file something with the Department of Revenue, especially if there's different forms. If it, essentially it's done through motor vehicle when it is a newer mobile or trailer. When it is an older one that is 1977 and older, there's another form that they fill out with the Department of Revenue. Because those are exempt, except for, unless they're valued at more than $10,000.
You do have these in Walmart.
No.
I was gonna say, too late now.
Like, this tax ID number.
I'm watching it and then all of a sudden, did you have these in?
I shot one.
So, I can just print a sticker blade attached to it that has the MCA, like I have a lime green label I can put on that I did last year. Then we have, the supplement, like last year we had the
Oh.
supplemental billing.
Oh, you can't amend these, this is going.
No, I can amend them, I just.
Sorry
Piece
for
of
the-
paper.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that MCA with the
I forget.
15, 17, 9, 11, one that it
Is
could
that
be seized and sold.
For mobiles, yes,
Yeah.
I could do that for mobiles.
Yeah, these are all mobile, right?
These are mobile, yeah, personal property.
The question I don't know is if they have real property, if you can attach that as well. I don't know that. The answer is no.
Real property will probably be different.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
for sure, if it's the tax on the real property, then you do a tax deed process, sell.
Okay, I can just make those amendments to add the MCA that corresponds with the personal property and then the one that corresponds with the reals. There's different MCA for that.
Yeah.
So I can just look those up. I have my book, so. And then I will get these mailed out and I'll add the urgent stamp to this, so there's some color. And then they have the urgent stamp on the front of the,
Yeah,
and then I'll report back.
So the true that you're gonna send out, should you put some verbiage on there about you need to do this?
so if that statute would be, yeah, if you can say that you can seize and sell your, if you're not gonna pay, that'd be good.
And. Oh. The Tuesday piece.
Is the, Mike Odell had called me too, did that get corrected on that one? Or was it for me?
Yes, that one was again, title transfer issue. When the property was sold, all of the information was given for a transfer of property, but not the transfer of the mobile itself.
This one,
So they never transferred the title, and so it's still legally in his name.
So,
So I talked to Mike,
okay,
but, really the only way to get it removed would be like for him to have them coming in there. Well,
so,
thank you.
thank you. So, that one we're working on.
okay.
Forget a couple.
Mhm. Think when we got to this.
Alrighty,
All right,
that was
well,
it for
thank you.
me.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Good
Dawn.
job. Alrighty, well, the next is a closed session personnel matter. We'll go off with closed section. Not this one, I mean, not this one. Alrighty, we're back on after our personnel matter. It's a Granite Road, new construction, mining claims and general road issues. Linda's coming in.
Mayor Reddish.
Nice,
And,
looking forward to it.
Beth Mayor Reddish is here. Come on up.
Morning.
We're a couple of minutes running behind, but
Oh, that's okay, cause Ken Jenkins called and said he's gonna be 10-15 minutes late. For 11:20, so.
oh, okay. All right, well, we'll jump into this, there's on the new construction, mining claims and general road issues. What do you got for it, Linda?
I didn't put it, and so I'm not sure, I thought this was coming from the Forest Service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Forest Service wanted to meet with everyone.
Where's Cameron?
I also invited the, Fish, Wildlife and Parks to be here as well, but I'm not sure if they want to be.
It's just all a discussion today to find a decision.
I can tell you what I know about up there, so we've had one subdivision up there. It's not been very far up there, like a mile up Granite Road. And the driveways were existing into the subdivision, so we didn't have much impact. My understanding is this is further up, like up by the Granite town itself. And during COVID, all those lots that have never sold up there, all those mining things all sold out. And so there are people up there building on them, and I don't know what they're marking off as. Our jurisdiction ends at Granite, right? Our road doesn't, ours goes up to Granite and then it actually drops back down to Rumsey, but we don't have anything past that. So if they're having issues past that, that's their thing to solve. I mean, they need to talk to those people and solve that issue. I mean, we haven't done, as far as I know, anything to create a problem up there.
We do have the agreement with Jim Pruce's group up there, and they've been doing some work on Granite Road.
But that's on Granite, right?
Yeah, Granite.
Yeah, and I will say, as just personally, I've only been up there a couple times, but I can't find my way around up there. I know they have signs saying, don't go this way, but then
you go that way and it's dead end, and so sort of forced to flip around and go the way they say don't go.
But it's a state
So-
park, it's, under Fish, Wildlife and Parks, that's why I invited them, cause
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really big on it there, you know, wanting this, wanting that, we like.
So maybe they need to do some signage and put some money into their state park and make it a little clearer which way you're supposed to go, cause I don't know which way to go when I go up there. I go up and I inevitably go the wrong way and I go on the illegal roads and I come back down.
Don't put that in the minutes.
But it is, what it is.
If I may, I just need a little context here. Was the county approached by people living up there or recently purchased property regarding the roads? Or what was the initiative or that started this?
All I know is that, for this meeting, Cameron Razor said there were some issues going on with some
Yeah.
roads up that way.
The neighbors not,
But I mean, it's out of ours once it breaks out, like he said, it's
Yeah.
not gonna do with us.
Right, and
They need to handle their own.
Yeah, and it sounds like a neighbor to neighbor thing to me that, so you guys haven't gotten complaints per se. It's gone through
we
Cameron?
went through Cameron.
Yeah, I got it. I just need a little context.
I haven't
because
done
And the agreement we have with Jim Cruise's group is done all right. We haven't
And wait,
been-
can
yeah.
you give me a very brief outline of what is
So,
that?
just they're doing some limited maintenance up
Right.
there on, Granite Road and.
He did
Farm
some
down.
kids work and they put in that, he cleaned out a culvert and then there were some trees that he cut down that were dead laying on. Yeah, he just cleaned up and made sure the water ran.
And the,
It's just a minor,
yeah,
it's no rebuilding the road
Yeah,
the county bladed up there,
last year.
last year too, yeah.
Okay,
sort of like minimal work to keep the access open.
sure,
Just like.
sure. I can't really comment on the neighbor to neighbor disputes. That happens in top, happens all
Yeah.
everywhere. But, with respect to living up there, for example, and I know I spent most of my life out there somewhere. I had no expectations about that sort of thing. I made a personal decision to make my life. There's nothing harder than a simple lifestyle, let's just say that. And access is a big thing. And I get in, when I lived for 14 years in Summer Gulch, I had occasions where I had to chain up and over, okay? But I had the 4-wheel drive truck with the 3-wheeler inside of that, and then my mountain bike strapped to the 3-wheeler and clean socks in my backpack, and I made no assumptions. Or my decision about living out in the outback was just that. So while I listen and I'll be sensitive to certain things, people make these choices and they live with their choices on a realistic level. That's just the way I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been a little bit of litigation up there over easements. I mean, the neighbors suing over because one neighbor wanted to, remove some small trees within the right of way and got sued and stuff like that. At least they're handling the court.
Right away, put some rocks in the right of way too, remember they were trying to.
Yeah. Well, Red Line Road, I remember that someone put one in the right of way there.
Yeah, I never heard nothing, this was all kind of new to me. But we've had a few complaints, usually it's just like pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah,
but-
I'm granted.
And the road gets all worse for it, well, that's. They advertise it, have everybody go up there and like cars again.
Yeah. I think Linda's right though on the some signage up there would be
Yeah,
beneficial.
really nice, especially if they're having issues. Cause for many years, that stuff was all private, Jim Davis owned a lot of it.
Sure, yeah.
And so, he didn't really care, but now that people are kind of building up there, they don't want people crossing out into their property to flip around and I don't know if that's the issue, but once it goes past Granite, it's not and that's what I've told people when they have come and asked about access up there. I don't know what your access is, but once it goes past Granite.
So where does Granite, the road end?
Granite.
At Granite.
Right at Granite, at the ghost town.
Yeah, right, at the T right there for like
Yeah,
the hall
okay.
and stuff, right?
And is this beyond?
Yeah, this is all up beyond. all the mining.
Does that turn into Forest Service roads at all, you know?
I think it does.
Like, is there a number for the Forest Service road?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
so-
that one that goes to the, Crystal Lakes.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, Forest
Forest
Service.
Service. That's something Forest Service should have to deal with then.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I know for the town, in terms of access and easement, where our main concern is our water line, our transmission line, that runs through all that stuff. So that's sort of where our focus is, and then the actual road part, because we don't have a lot of time or stuff to say about that specifically. But I understand that there's assumptions that are made about property boundaries and easements and so forth. And so my main focus obviously is to make sure we don't go to the top of the water line. Right, yeah, yeah. You know, we've had to pay attention to logging activity and so forth, and yeah, you gotta cover that up a little deeper, that sort of thing, but, other than that, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I guess without Cameron here to kind of explain stuff what he's talking about, I guess we'll move on. And is there any public comment on this Granite Road?
So basically, this agenda item is concerning Granite Road.
Correct.
And like the new construction on the mining claims and general road issues that go beyond the Granite Road are not our responsibility.
Was one of the concerns driveways off the Granite Road, or did?
We don't have nothing, we don't know. It's
Yeah.
just verbal as well, it is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Get people talking, I don't think nobody's come to the table yet, unless they got stuff with Cam. We don't have nothing.
Are you aware of the 9/11 mapping or how that might relate to new houses up there or anything like that? If they're getting on the 9/11?
Well, Matt appears to be the one to talk
Yeah.
about that. I don't know, I guess that's something, but I mean, it's still going out of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking mainly in terms of, access points off the
He was here this spring, he probably is working on something.
Actually. When did do we ever follow up on when we were, a couple weeks ago from when we were gonna ask them how long it was gonna be for that new map system?
I don't think we followed up on it, I think we was waiting till it got completely done and then
So is he done?
I don't know, we haven't asked him.
Is Cameron, right?
Matt Pierce.
Matt Pierce.
Yeah. What did we get? Just what they've done so far?
No, that's just on, no, that's another agenda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you lost subject.
All right, well, I guess we'll move on.
That's all right. Anything that gets me out of the office. Thanks, you guys.
All righty, well, we'll go into, we're a few minutes behind the landowner request to adjust building envelope. No build area for lot 2 of the Kelly subdivision. We have it here in the, on this. Did they get everything done, Linda?
So,
I'd like to ask a quick question. I just got a call, I wasn't sure what this meeting was all about that. They asked me to come down, so I did, because they said, didn't know Cameron was gonna talk about it for Lake Shore. I know it was Granite County, so I don't wanna waste your time. And
We got something from him then, we'll probably put it on the agenda for next week so he can come in, and then we can talk to him about it.
Okay, so it took me 2 weeks and that. Okay, well, that's all I was wondering. I came down just because
Yeah.
I got a phone call.
Oh,
That's where Granite.
He sent us what they spend on Lake Shore. You can look at it. But we're just wondering how much gravel they put on, so what we've been.
They went from Eccleston's Lane
0.44.
all the way around to where that bathroom is.
Yeah, we just, we said we'd match the gravel, so we'll see how much.
Yeah,
we put on.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I did not know what this was all about, so I'm sorry.
Well, seeing Cameron's name, I could see.
As soon as I see Canada, I got a phone call.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said somebody needs to go. Okay.
All right.
I know Paul got a call. I'll leave after this. If there's any way you guys could possibly put some bank chloride on the road after they did that, it'd be wonderful. I don't know if you can or not, but thank you. Please.
All right, so now we're back on this,
building envelope.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have another item. Ken Jenkins is supposed to be coming. He said he'd be 10 to 15 minutes late,
Well, we can go to the
but
county,
I don't know if you can do that or not.
yeah, I can go to the county board vacant.
Yeah, or I think Linda can, we
Yeah,
can explain it if you'd like and.
Yeah,
And see if
you
you
just
guys.
want me to go on?
Yeah.
Okay,
To where? Oh.
yeah, we don't need him.
Yeah, I would.
Just like that.
so yeah, this is up Maxville. It's the Kelly subdivision. So essentially, when they did the subdivision, the floodplain mapping ends just very close to where the border of this subdivision is. So when they did the subdivision, Ken Jenkins actually did the subdivision for the Kellys at the time. And they put this very wide riparian no build zone on because they didn't want to do the flood study to find out where the floodplain's at. Well, Lot 1 came in and asked if they could have a little building envelope put into that riparian. I went down and looked at it and it was like, yeah, this is never gonna flood. So we gave him a very specific little building envelope. The next guy now, Lot 2 has also, he actually has gone ahead and had Ken do the flood study, but he hasn't gone through the process of getting his covenants changed. So he wants to just have a building envelope put right now on there as well, just so he can do his construction this year. I'm fine with doing the building envelope. He has to understand that he's only getting this building. That's it, that's on that map. He's not getting everything else he wants until he gets that flood study and those covenants changed. And that's what this agreement says, is that he's getting the building that's shown on the plat that Ken prepared there. And not everything else. That building that's showing on the plat will be outside of that flood zone that Ken has mapped out now. I don't know if he has or not, but I would guess he probably has started building at this point. This guy. Thinking that, it was just, cause he came in several times and was like, well, why is this on my property? It's not on anybody else's property. Well, it was put on as part of the subdivision. You bought it with that on it. You knew it was on there.
And he keeps telling, he said, well, that, I can hear the name that's on the hand, but well, she got it, why can't I? So I gotta talk to Linda, this
Yeah.
isn't a place to talk.
So, and Annabelle's, if you look at theirs, they specifically list out a size. So they gave a very tiny little envelope that they were going to be allowed to build in. And that's fine, this guy can build in the area where he's showing his house on that, but that's it. He's got very big plans for doing lots of things on there. That all can't be done until he either comes in and gets another little building envelope, or he gets his flood study finished.
Why wouldn't you just go ahead and get the flood study finished and the covenants, so they're all good? I mean, we can't just keep.
Yeah,
Parking.
I agree. I would give him this one, and then he's gotta get his, and that can be part of your, approval of this, is that, hey, this is the one we're giving you. We're not giving you any more until you get your flood study and your covenants approved and you get the flood
But
study
if you're
there.
saying that he just telling he's gonna wanna build one, I mean, I think, I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing, you can give him the one, and then he can't have any more until he gets this.
So what
flood
happens
study.
if he just goes ahead and does it anyway?
Then Blaine would have to go. This is a county required
Yeah.
covenant for the subdivision. This wasn't just a, a lot of the covenants are enforceable by the property owners only. This one we can enforce if he violates it. So
What I think he needs to do is covenant, he knows that. Why don't he just do it and get it done right, instead of this going into, could possibly into litigation, because when he goes and does other stuff, and then.
well, and I can only speculate, but if I had to speculate, I would say that the neighbors may be willing to give him what they got, which is a small envelope. But they may not be willing to change the covenants in total. And that's for him, that's his fight to fight with them. But we can certainly tell him, this is the building you're gonna get in here until you get your covenants changed.
Okay, and so he won't get the covenants changed if the people say, no, you're not gonna change the covenants.
Nope.
So, and then,
He's stuck with what he has, he
Yeah.
has one building envelope that it will allow in there.
Yeah. so I feel that he could have this building envelope, cause he is at a standstill with the covenants. But what about the flood?
He's done the flood study, he's
Okay.
put the money out to do the flood study. He just, at this point, can't, like I said, it's speculation, because I haven't talked to the neighbors, but if he got the neighbors to sign for the building envelope, I don't know why he couldn't get the neighbors to sign for the covenants. Unless they're saying, no, we ain't gonna change the covenants, you just get your building envelope.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I'm okay with one building envelope, because we allowed the other neighbor to have one building envelope. It does show up outside of the flood
Are you
study.
understanding this?
Well, I already talked.
So is this just the building envelope because he's approaching in on the
Into that right there.
riparian area?
Yeah,
Okay.
And you agree?
yep, I agree that one building envelope is fine in there. And then I have talked to him and to Ken and said, you have to get, for anything else to get done, the covenants must be changed. And once the covenants are changed, that adopts his flood study, which narrows his riparian down to the flood study. But until he gets it done,
Why won't he get it done?
if his neighbors say no, they won't change the
But I mean,
covenant.
why hasn't he pursued this instead of trying to is it easier to get a building?
Yeah, that's my speculation, is that they're okay with the building envelope. But if they've heard any kickback as to what he's building out there, or wants to build, maybe they're just saying, we don't want all that building out there. So we're gonna say no.
Can we talk to the other owners?
Well, that's
Table this
not
so we can talk to
really,
them?
because that would be up to changing the covenants and I don't think we really have the right to talk to him saying, well, he's trying to build this or that, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, for the covenants, I would think we just have,
Yeah, you could talk to him, I don't know,
yeah, he needs to be able to argue the covenant change to the people.
And he knows
Exactly.
that he has to get the covenants.
Oh,
changed.
yes, he knows.
So
So,
I don't understand why he hasn't pursued it through, so he can get what he really needs, instead of just a little piece at a time.
so this is something that he does need, right?
Well, this is something he'll need if he can't get the covenants changed, which there is a chance he will not be able to get the covenants changed. Then, yeah, he needs this to build where he wants to build. That's a big piece. It's a huge piece of property. This is just where he wants to
Because
build.
I think they've already dug and plowed stuff in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with
Yeah.
him.
The what?
There's already done quite a bit of work in there already.
And that is right where the new envelope is.
Nothing is past all. You can't see.
It's a fresh, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I've got a bigger copy here. I'll let you look at it, cause I can't see those tiny copies either.
I just don't understand why you can't do everything.
Yeah, so this is his house,
Get the covenant.
That's what he wants.
and this is the, right there.
Where's the other houses located at?
The other one is down here and it's like right here.
The
No, is it
other
pretty far
people
It's like here.
that are in the.
Yeah, it's pretty far,
They
this is
absolutely not.
really steep.
And then you can't.
Right,
do it.
it does that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So then if they say
Yeah.
no, not, this is all he's got, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
If they say no to the covenant change, this is all he has.
And then
He
that-
has the same thing that we gave to the other
Isn't
neighbor.
that how it's supposed to go then? And he's supposed to try to get the covenants done first and then come to us?
He doesn't know, cause we allowed the Annabelles to do it without doing the covenant
And
change.
that's what the big deal is, that's what they're saying to me all the time, when you let them do this, you let them do that, and you know.
Okay. So he's asking for the envelope. and there's other plans that he has in the works, he would have to ask for covenants to be changed to do those other plans. And that's when the other subdivision owners would either say, you may get new covenants or no. So this here is necessary. But the covenants and stuff are gonna be more and beyond if he asks for other stuff.
What,
And you said we have say on the covenants?
We
Since you
We
said
can
something about covenants.
enforce the covenants.
Oh,
So when that covenant change comes through, yes, it will come through as a covenant change to the commissioners. And you have the right to say, yes, you're gonna reduce the covenants, or no, you're not gonna reduce covenants. I have, sent the flood study up to the DNRC, and they looked through the flood study and they said that they're fine with that flood study, as long as there's a couple of clauses when you, if it comes in as a covenant change. But yeah,
What-
that needs to be an actual
and
covenant.
we can still deny the covenants change.
You can change, yep, you can
Okay.
deny the covenant change.
if the commission
If you get it.
allow,
Oh, I know, I've got a good argument.
if the commission allows us with those conditions, what's the impact? I mean, is it,
There's really no impact. I mean, we know it's outside of where the floodplain actually sits. So if the subdivider, the Kellys, had originally gone through and done the flood study, he would have been allowed to build there anyway. And he wouldn't be coming to see you. It's just they didn't want to do the flood study, cause it's pricey.
Yeah,
And so they just put a really wide riparian area on there so that they didn't have to do the flood study. And I'm fine giving him one house in one building spot into the riparian. Which is, we were fine with Annabelle's having one, cause they're building, especially with Annabelle's, their building sites really, they didn't have to building sites outside of the riparian. I'm fine with this guy having his one, but he needs to know that he can't do any more building on this property inside that riparian until he gets his covenants changed. And if he can't get the and he would probably be willing to approach the commission and say, well, would you change the covenants? But I have told him, until you get the homeowners to sign off, we won't even entertain a covenant change.
Here's me.
I can.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
so she's explained it all?
Yeah,
And
the only thing I would add.
State your name and stuff for the.
Yeah, for the record, Ken Jenkins with Montana Northwest Company. The only thing I might add to what Linda probably already told you, the exhibits and application thing is pretty self-explanatory, so. The house is staked on the ground. It's all on an upper bench. It's just pasture grass, there's no riparian species or anything like that. We also recently did a flood study. I'm imagining DNRC is looking at that, but, it's well away from the floodplain. And that's pretty much it. Just some background, when we did the Kelly subdivision, they did not want to pay for a flood study, they're expensive. So we just arbitrarily picked, I think it was 180-foot offset from the creek, so that it was ridiculously outside of whatever could be the floodplain. So it was overkill for the purpose of saving money at the time. And so now we're taking a better look at that. The floodplain is, more than 100 feet from where the platted setback line is. So.
So, and their concerns are, why isn't he just coming in with the covenant change now? And I don't know, I mean, I'm, why he isn't, if he's got an attorney going and he's having kickback from the property.
No, I can speak to that. The biggest thing that's driving this as a two-step process, he's got contractors waiting to start digging.
I thought they already digging.
I don't know, maybe, I haven't been there in a week, but, no, he's got contractors ready to start the house. The change to the covenants, or the plat change to actually move the no build zone closer to the actual floodplain, is a much longer process. We would do that on an amended subdivision plat that you folks would have to approve. And then we're actually, I'm planning the monument wherever that line ends up being, so that there's physical, pins on the ground that define where the new proposed no build zone would be. Then we'll bring that of record in the county on an amended subdivision. So that process is going to take some time.
Yeah.
And if he's got contractors ready, the second phase is gonna take a couple months at least.
The question would be, is the covenant change has to be agreed on by all subdivision owners.
Correct.
So if they chose no, then he wouldn't be changing the covenant.
That's probably true,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have told him that several times, we will not entertain the covenant change unless you can get all of your property owners to sign.
yeah. So that's the next step. All we're asking for now, just so he can get his contractors going, is leave the no build zone in place intact with all of the covenants that come with it, but you're allowing the footprint of the house to encroach. That's it.
And they're looking at saying, well, we're gonna allow you the one encroachment.
Sounds like we kinda got the cart ahead of the horse in this
That's
situation,
what-
knowing that all this was there.
Well, actually, it was
When he bought it.
the Kevins that did it. They chose not to put any extra money in the floodplain thing, so it's on the people that purchased the.
But when he bought it, he knew all this was supposed to be done, and they've already gone ahead and started on a bunch of it, right?
The last time I was there, which was last Thursday, they hadn't started digging anything.
Well, my opinion is, I agree with Linda, and I think that they can change their envelope.
Give them an envelope, or saying, give them an envelope for one building.
And it is the building envelope shown on that attached plat.
Do you want conditions in your motion?
Yeah.
Oh, do I have to make a motion?
Well, thought you were making a motion.
Okay. What am I doing?
So your
Motion on this.
Okay, so I'm making a motion that we give them their alternate building envelope.
to grant a building envelope into the riparian. According to the plat that he submitted. With the understanding that this is the only one we're granting till he gets his covenants and from flood study. Both adopted and changed.
And you got this in there, this plat all marked and ready then?
It's on there, yeah. It's
I just
like,
don't wanna
Yeah,
upset.
that exhibit is where
is where it is.
that's where it is stated.
But is it marked so he knows he can't go out of it?
Yeah, Ken's marked it on the ground. And so, yeah, that building envelope that you see there. You see it, it's kind of small.
Get this right here.
Yeah, it's this is his building envelope. This is the old riparian line, this is the riparian line right now, and this is where his flood study will move it to. So did you see that, Blanche? The little,
Right here. like
that little
mark.
house, yeah.
So where was it before? Or did he
Um,
not have an envelope?
He didn't have an
Oh,
envelope,
I see, okay, I get it.
he just was to stay out of the riparian.
That's a motion.
Did you get that, Miranda?
Might listen to that one back.
All right.
So what was this motion?
To motion to give him-
It's the one building,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely,
And-
yeah.
Conditional upon, for later building, correct?
Right, he gets the one building envelope within the riparian as it stands right now. And we won't entertain any more into the riparian until he gets his covenants
And the covenant still has to get
Amended.
approved.
Yes,
through the
us.
commission.
Yeah.
And the flood study gets adopted with those covenants. And if,
I know
he
you
can still build, he just has to build outside the
Outside,
riparian
right,
area.
right.
But this is,
I go with her, cause she's a professional.
I'll second it.
No, I totally, and Paul seconded, any other public comment? My only comment is, I guess that just by what they keep telling me, him and his contractors, and now, you know, they should have done this, you got it done first and done right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it ain't right, I'm just saying, but the comments they said to me, well, we already got this, we've already bid in, and yeah, I'll go up there this afternoon and see, but I told that they were already bid.
So,
But
one
on
of
that-
the
Just
things,
on that emotional,
yeah,
go ahead and prove it.
one of the things with this, the flood study, until we did the flood study, we weren't sure kind of
Yeah.
how to play this out.
Yeah.
And once we had the flood study done, and we started the flood study last fall, those things take time and it's a lot of work. Started the flood study last fall. Until we had the results of that, he wasn't sure what direction he wanted to go. And then once we knew where the floodplain was, and then understood, okay, the remedy to this is an amended plat that moves the no build zone closer to the floodplain, so on and so forth, which is going to take some time. And he's like, well, I have contractors chomping at the bit. My neighbor on lot 1 just did this. And so that was, this decision of this first step was sort of recent, but it was based on once we knew where the floodplain was.
And they knew there was gonna be a floodplain, they
Right.
talked about it last year, he brought it to my attention last year, it's not all new. He knew what, you know.
Should've got the
had to be done. You can't
contractors
keep blaming the
hired
floodplain.
until they had it figured out.
I mean,
Agreed.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Wait until next year to do
Yeah.
contractors, get this
So-
done first.
Any other public comment?
My only other thing would be if, since Joe D'Amico isn't here, if you would just greatly impress upon him that he cannot build anything else in that riparian,
That's in your motion.
or start it, or do anything, dirt work
There's
lies
not gonna
down.
be a leniency, if they, oh, well, but, you know, they're waiting and this contractor's already starting to build, I'll go up there this afternoon and then look and see, cause if, I don't know if I don't know.
so
I
he's
don't-
entitled to this envelope, okay,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that.
but the covenants have to be approved for anything else.
Yeah, and if it doesn't get changed, or if he wants to build other stuff, he's welcome to do that outside of the riparian area.
Yeah.
He has the right to do that.
No, I understand that, so.
Okay.
On that, all in favor?
Thank you very much. I will impress upon him.
Yeah, and that's Larry
How'd you go?
comments,
Oh, okay.
which will go with
Gotta
the
get
covenant.
Cool, sorry.
Yeah.
Aye.
Thank you.
All unanimous.
Oh, he started talking.
Thanks for waiting. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alright.
He started talking when I was trying to make my vote.
Oh, and that's the thing
That
with
is
all these
fun.
people coming in and buying this ground, knowing what is on the ground, and then they're trying to find little loopholes to get around it. It's
Well,
getting
and
out
then,
of hand.
and then sitting there saying that they did this and that, yes, they did. If it was brought up to attention last year, and then there's this, I know what's going on.
Okay.
And I don't agree with
Yeah.
a lot of it.
Don't
I
get the
think,
cart
you
ahead of
know,
the horse.
And they sit here and keep telling us, well, you like this person, or you like, well, you have to. Well, I guess that's what's really frustrating when I
Yeah,
get told I have to.
Don't have to.
That's what bothers.
It's case by case basis. with that stuff.
No,
This frustrates you, and people do this, and like you said, and they expect us to. Oh, okay, go ahead, no.
Yeah.
You know, they need to follow through, and they, no one, I guess.
He-
we're telling them.
As a side note, though, he has like helped the sheriff and is like good helping the community, I think, so.
What, man?
He's helped the sheriff with a few things and.
Oh, I know, I'm
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
I'm not a bad, I'm not being a bad guy.
This instance is, yeah, what you're talking about.
It's just
You know, that-
what personally they've come to say to me as a commissioner is what.
Yeah,
You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I've gotten a few of those discussions with him as well. Well, why should I have to play by different rules? Cause you bought a property with different rules.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Well, and that's the thing, you have to understand that the rules are, go along with the property, with the subdivision.
He's the first one to say, boy, don't change it, we keep this county out of this.
Yeah.
Then,
Brandon, I get a copy of that one.
we're in shadow, it's different. I'll tell
You know
that.
him?
And you know, 95% of everybody who comes in, they buy and they play by the rules, they buy, but there's always a few very vocal pushers.
All right, well, we'll go, thanks.
Yeah, he also came in last year and said you guys are doing a great job, so you never hear that.
We'll go ahead and go to county boards vacancies, notice for paper and appointments, discussion decision. I guess I can walk through them quick here, there's Granite County Compensation Board. Do we have anybody apply for anything?
A little bit, the compensation board has 2 citizens. Right now,
So they still got, they need
they need
one,
1 more.
but we don't, I mean, do we have any new
No,
applications?
Mhm.
Okay. So I guess where we don't have, we'll go through the Granite County Weed Board. Granite County Board of Adjustment. Granite County Tax Appeal Board. TV District in Drummond, TV District in Phillipsburg, and Tri-County Fair Board. I thought that we were getting somebody to get on the Fair Board. Never
I
applied.
hired someone, yeah.
I guess they must not apply.
yeah. I'm gonna have to look at the.
On that note, Amanda Weaver is the one, she should, maybe I'll give her a call and see, she had a couple people, and I'll tell her that there's still one vacancy. Maybe we call out and say, yeah,
Yeah, I let them know that. The big one there is, tax appeal board is gonna be meeting in soon, so that one needs,
we have how
Yeah.
many on it?
2.
We got, need one.
Miranda would be good on the tax appeal board.
I'm secretary. I'm already automatically.
I'm joking.
That gives me an
Yes,
amount.
That'd be, that'd be
Pretty much.
unconstitutional.
Can we nominate the county attorney for that?
That'd be great.
I can't be on 2 boards either.
I guess we can put it in the paper again and hopefully we can pick up somebody and just move on. I don't know what else it can do. Luke, you wanna be on one of these? Okay.
Can we just,
He could be on.
should we just put an ad in the paper for all these then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do that and move on. I don't think we have to make a motion to do that one, yes, it's just a board.
Yeah, I advised her to already send it to the paper, so, yeah.
Other than that, that's all for today. We're adjourned. Oh, did you have something? Oh, okay.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are lucky to have her.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.